Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wizard and welcome back to another ESO build video. And today we're doing the Stamina Templar PvE build of Doom. Stamina Templar is pretty good DPS right now, and it's my main character, and making a new PvE build for it. My last Templar video was a dodge roll PvP build, the Rebel build, and I'd say that one is pretty good. But this one is for PvE purposes, and yeah, let's get straight to the gear. Go over here to inventory. Weapons, first off we have Spriggans, 5-piece of course on the dual wield bar, and on the bow bar we have an infused. That should actually be a weapon damage enchantment. I'm just too lazy to get the CUDA. And the this bow right here, the Sentinel's Longbow, automatically comes with the shock damage, and when the shock damage ability procs, you get minor vulnerability, which means 8% more damage done to that target. So I guess this is pretty good. You can buy this really cheaply, and I think it may be a quest item. Maybe, I'm not sure. Next up we have 2 Spriggan swords for the 5-piece on the two-handed bar. Your main hand should be sharpened, and your offhand should be sharpened also. But if you have a trait, I suggest you put the sharpened on your main hand, since the main hand hits first and it does more damage. So yeah. And I'm too lazy to go and grind for these Spriggan's other trait, sharpened, and so I only bought the one, and I found this one. Yeah. Jewelry, here we go. We have Spriggan's, of course, 2 weapon damage enchantments on the rings with stamina. Of course, it comes with stamina, so I don't know why I'm saying that. Spriggan's necklace with stamina recovery. These should actually be purple right here, but they're such a pain in the ass to get in purple. So I only managed to find one in purple, and these 2 aren't in blue. These should be purple also. Yeah. So body pieces, we have of course Hunding's Rage, one of the best stamina sets in the entire game. Of course, just weapon critical, max stamina, weapon critical, and weapon damage. You cannot go wrong with this set. We're going all divines on this one. If you could get it to yellow, I suggest doing that. So yeah, there you go. All medium, by the way, too, with maximum stamina enchantments. Motif, your choice. Monster helm. Now you have different monster helms you could choose between. Selene's, right here, Slime Craw and Crags are really good. Sometimes I go Crags, and sometimes I go Selene's. It's up to you, basically, for the monster helm. You have these 3 options. Falcon Scourge is also a good one too, but I prefer these 3. Yeah, so that's the gear. Not much to say there. Skills on the back bar. We're starting on the back bar first. We have Poison Injection, Vigor. You should always have a self-heal. No matter what anybody says, have a self-heal. Endless Hail, and Razor Caltrops. So yeah. Repentance on the back bar to get that recovery. Dawnbreaker Smiting. For the passive down here. Fighters Guild. Slayer, increase your weapon damage by 3% for each Fighters Guild ability slotted. 3%. Because we have a Dawnbreaker on our back bar. Yeah, see? And then on our front bar, our dual wield, we have jabs, of course. Gets weapon critical, and not really anything crazy about it, I guess. This one, yeah, get jabs. Blood Craze, I hear, heals you and does damage over time, really good damage over time, and it's a low cost skill. Now you could go 2 swords for the Twin Blade and Blunt passive right here. Grants a bonus based on the type of weapon equipped. Each sword increases your damage done by 2.5%, so right now we're getting 5% extra damage done. with our dual wield abilities. You could go run dagger, or you could go both daggers or both axes. Those are both really good choices. Excuse me. Yep, blood craze right there, and right here, rearming trap. You get this in the Fighters Guild. Rearming trap. You put it down and it mobilizes like little ads. Not the boss, of course. And it does a fair bit of damage, but usually use it for the critical damage done while it's active. You get minor force. Critical damage done by 10%. And of course, since we are Templar, we get higher weapon critical than the other classes, except Stamina Nightblade. Power Relight on our L1. You put it on the enemy, and whatever damage you do for 6 seconds, releases 20% of it as damage to them again. And it gets targets minor fracture, minor breach, reducing their physical and spell resistance. Not much to say there. Deadly Cloak, of course, does damage, and yeah, it's just to keep all of our DPS basically. Now our ult on our front bar can be a bit different. We can have Crescent Sweep. You could basically, if you're doing the proper rotation, you can do Crescent Sweep every second rotation. So yeah, or you could go Rend, which I really like, over 16 seconds. If you're really quick, you could get your ultimate back in around 25 seconds, I'd say. And so you have this basically up the whole time. Dawnbreaker is smiting, of course. This one helps a lot. And if it was up to me, it would be this choice. Because again, due to our passive in the Fighters Guild, we have 6% extra weapon damage on our front bar, because we have Rearming Trap and Dawnbreaker Smiting, which are both Fighters Guild abilities, and they grant us the Slayer passive. Yeah, so that's there you go. Champion points. Now, of course, I'm not champion cap. I'm around 100 away, and my CP is not set up fully. Just be aware. Just take this as a rough guideline. Warlord, this should be into Sprinter. Summon the Sprinter also. Tenacity and Mooncalf, you need these a lot. I put 75 in the Mooncalf, because if you put an extra 25%, if you put an extra 25 champion points, you only get 1% more stamina recovery. So I just choose to put 75 and a lot more tenacity. Yeah. Next is Tumbling. I don't know why, but I don't like to reset my champion points every time I want to switch to PvE and PvP. So I just keep that in there. Don't worry about that. Nothing in the Apprentice. The Atronach, we have Physical Weapon Expert and Master at Arms. Yeah, basically that. Not much to say there. Now we have a lot into the ritual. Here we go. 61 into Mighty. Increases your physical, poison, and disease damage done by around 13%. It actually rounds down to 12%, I believe. 33 in the Piercing. We already have a lot of physical penetration with Crags also, so you don't want to reach cap too much. Especially if some of your other teammates, like let's say you're in a trial or in a dungeon, let's say they're running Nightmare's Gaze or something, you don't want to over penetrate when you could be putting those resources into other stats. 81 into Precise Strikes to increase the damage and healing of our critical strikes by 24% with 81, and a couple into Thaumaturge. Next up into the Warrior, we have medium armor, focus, and resistant. Of course, these are for PvP mostly. If it was fully PvE, we put it into Ironclad instead. Next, we have 60, 60, and the rest into Thick Skinned, just to prevent us from being killed so easily. And that's basically it for champion points. Next up, we have our character sheet. Now I want to discuss this. Max Magicka 10k, max health 14k. This is what I like to call the big balls method. We use low health, but we stack up on damage. 32,000 stamina, 3,000 weapon damage, and 46% weapon critical with 1,400 stamina recovery. Very good stats here. Not much to say about them. This is with the Warrior Stone and the dubious Camoran Throne. So yeah, fully buffed, which means poison with a potion. And then our front bar we have 3,500 weapon damage. So really good stats here. Really quick video. Next, I'm going to be doing another video showing a rotation and maybe some gameplay with this build. So yeah, pretty basic build. The gear is really easy to farm or buy, I guess. You could ask someone to craft you the Hundings, get the Selines and the Spriggans. Races Khajiit. I don't think I'm missing anything else. So yeah, that's our build. Our PvE Stamina Templar build. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter at @TheWizard, and subscribe, like, and comment, please. Your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, your facts also. Yeah, thanks for watching.